National Democratic Congress, the NDC, says it will not accept results of the 2020 presidential elections as announced by the Electoral Commission on Wednesday. Minority Leader in Parliament, Haruna Idrisu, who addressed a news conference hours after EC Chairperson Jean Mensa announced the results, said after extensive consultation and detailed analysis of the outcome of the elections, the party has come to, quote, one irresistible conclusion that it is a flawed, discredited election and therefore rejects the results without any reservation.
At the end of a transparent, fair, orderly, and timely and peaceful presidential election, the total number of valid votes cast was 13,434,574. representing 79% of the total registered voters. Permit me to present the results in the order of appearance on the 2020 presidential ballot. At the end of the polls, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of the New Patriotic Party obtained 6,730,413 votes, being 51.595% of the total valid votes cast. John Dramani Mahama of the National Democratic Congress obtained 6,214,889 votes, being 47.366% of the total valid votes cast. Christian Kwabena Andrews of the Ghana Union Movement obtained 105,565 votes, being 0.805% of the total valid votes cast. Iva Kwabena Greenstreet of the Convention's People's Party obtained 12,215 votes, being 0.093% of the total valid votes cast. Madam Ekuya Donko of the Ghana Freedom Party obtained 5,575 votes, being 0.042% of the total valid votes cast. Henry Herbert Latte of the Great Consolidated Popular Party obtained 3,574, being 0.027% of the total valid votes cast. Hassan Ayariga of the All People's Party obtained 7,140, being 0.054% of the total valid votes cast. Percival Kofi Apalu of the Liberal Party of Ghana obtained 7,690 votes, being 0.059% of the total valid votes cast. David Asibi Apesara of the People's National Convention obtained 10,887, being 0.083% of the total valid votes cast. Bridget Akosua-Jigbonuku of the Progressive People's Party obtained 6,848 votes, being 0.052% of the total valid votes cast. Nana Kunedu Ajeman Rawlings of the National Democratic Party obtained 6,612 votes, being 0.050% of the total valid votes cast. Alfred Kwame Isiedu Walker, independent candidate, obtained 9,703 votes, being 0.074% of the total valid votes cast. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, currently the election results we have declared exclude that of the Techiman South constituency, which has a total voter population of 128,018. 128,018. The said election results are not ready because they are being contested. As such, collation has not been completed. It is important to note, however, that the difference between the total number of votes between the first and second candidates is 515,524 votes. As a result, if we were to add the 128,018 full results to the results of the second candidate, it would not change the outcome of the election. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Indeed, if you were to add the entire results or collate all the results from the Techiman South constituency and add that to the percentage and the votes of the second candidate, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, he would obtain 47.873% of the total votes cast. And Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo would obtain 50.8% of the total votes cast. It is on that basis that we say that the outcome of the election would not change. Hence, our declaration of the 2020 presidential results without that of Techiman South. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of the foregoing election results, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission of Ghana and the returning officer of the presidential election, it is my duty and honor to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as President-elect of the Republic of Ghana. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Let peace reign. Thank you.
So before I bring you President Akufo-Addo's victory speech and the NDC's concerns raised, the EC this morning has made a correction to that total number of votes figure put out by Madame Jane Mensah, as you just heard it there. So as you can see, this is dated 10th December 2020 and is a summary of the 2020 presidential election results without Techiman South constituency. So they put out all the figures there, but I'll take you to the very bottom of that statement because that's where the news is, and it's that the chairperson of the Electoral Commission inadvertently used 13,433,573 as the total valid votes cast. The total valid votes cast is 13,119,460. Now, the Electoral Commission goes to say this does not change the percentages stated for each candidate and the declaration made by the chairperson. So there you have it. There's a correction to the figures there. So they're saying it's no longer 13,433,573 as total votes cast, but 13,119,460. We've already seen a lot of messages going around raising issues with this because people decided to calculate the total votes for President Akufo-Addo and John Mahama as against the figure stated by the Electoral Commissioner, and it did not correspond with the percentages, and so the Electoral Commission has had to come up this morning. We were hoping to speak to an analyst to talk about how all this fuels the perception that something untoward may be happening, but obviously we had to take you to Kodeo, and so there's just been a bit of change in plans. But let me just bring you what President Akufo-Addo had to say after the results were declared by the EC chairperson.
The decisive margin of victory in this election constitutes for me an endorsement of the policies and programs initiated by my government and put before the electorate. And I'm determined to do all in my power to accomplish the tasks of this new mandate and thereby justify the confidence reposed in me. I assure you, fellow Ghanaians, that I'll do my best not to let you down.
While the president also called on the opposition NDC to forge partnership with government and work in the interest of the country.
The Ghanaian people, through the results, have made it loud and clear that the two parties, the MPP and NDC, must work together, especially in Parliament, for the good of the country. Now is the time for each and every one of us, irrespective of our political affiliations, to unite, join hands, stand shoulder to shoulder, and work hard to place Ghana where she deserves to be, a prosperous and dynamic member of the global community, making her own unique contribution to the growth of world civilization.
While the NDC is having none of that, it says the results are flawed and they will challenge the outcome. We can now hear from Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu.
As a party, we have done extensive consultations and detailed analysis of the outcome of the elections as announced by Jean Mensah, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. And we have come to only one irresistible conclusion, that it's a flawed, discredited election. And therefore we reject without any reservation. We reject the presidential elections as announced by her. And we also want to serve notice that the blatant efforts even to deny us of a parliamentary majority will be fiercely resisted. We know that the good people of Ghana gave us a mandate, and that mandate included a parliamentary majority, that they are engaged in attempts in connivance with the Electoral Commission to undermine and to reduce through brute force and military excessive behavior. We all know the gentleman John Dramani Mahama has been president of the Republic, he's been vice president of the Republic. We know his credentials as a consummate Democrat and know and acknowledge even his conduct after the 2016 elections continued to be commended and admired by many in the world and in our country. It is worth noting that we in the NDC take pride that we birthed this republic, the fourth republic, which has endured over 25 years. And we have a moral duty to preserve our democratic ethos and values and to make our democracy stronger for the peace and stability of our country. This evening, Ghana's democracy has come under severe attack and needs some rescue urgently. If not rescued, this attack will foster and grow into future elections, and that will disfigure our track record as a true democratic nation. We've been prided for conducting free, fair, and transparent elections. It is even regrettable to note that this evening, before her declaration, Excellency John Dramani Mahama contested the election as a candidate and therefore a stakeholder and interested party, even when he filed a petition to the Electoral Commission today detailing her concerns in the process of coalition leading to declaration. That was treated with utmost contempt. That we consider unacceptable. that address my grievances, address my concerns as a candidate, it was ignored by the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. This evening, the declaration by the Electoral Commission also smacks of bad faith, particularly when we are aware that our representatives in the strong room were sent by the chairperson to send a message, call it her special message to our flag bearer, Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Whilst they were on their way, then she decided to hold a press conference to do the declaration. So, whatever message was to be conveyed did not even get to President Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And then her petition, they were told that leave it at the reception to address those grievances. Let us be clear, overwhelmingly evidence available to us make it impossible for us to accept this spurious and hurried conclusion of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, led by its chairperson, who has only become an appendage of the ruling New Patriotic Party.
That's the Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu. Then you just heard him just in the ending part of that clip we showed you, saying that those who represented the NDC in the strong room were asked by the EC chairperson, allegedly, to send a certain message to the NDC's flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama. Well, Roger Metonunu is one of the persons who was in that strong room, and he explains further what the Minority Leader was saying.
We had been engaging her, and she made it very clear that I should wait for her feedback. Then she called me and specifically said that she was sending me with a message to our flag bearer. And what was the message? That she wanted to engage us to understand the nature of our concerns, because I had refused to sign any more of the declarations. Because like I explained to you earlier, any signature means I'm endorsing the result. And I had explained to you earlier that it's a very legal issue. You must be very clear what you declare. So I refused to sign because we had additional information that all manner of things had happened in the eastern region. And we had information that the same and similar things had happened in Ashanti region. That they had generated their own pink sheets.
But Mr. Matonono, I am struggling to appreciate some of the things you're saying. Your agent on the ground signed the pink sheet, which was collated at the regional level and subsequently sent to the National Coalition Center. So one would say that the argument you make this evening clearly is flawed, because your agent at the constituency level and regional level accepted the result. That was why the Electoral Commission forwarded it to the national headquarters.
Something went wrong.
Something went wrong? On whose part, sir?
On the, listen, I explained to you earlier that the Electoral Commission is the auditor of the election. So if you and I have a difficulty and you are the umpire, it's like a tennis match. There's a faulty service. If the ball is out, it's out. You cannot say the ball is out and then you give the point to me. I played the shot and it's out. But you are agreeing that what went out is in.
So by extension, you're admitting that your agent on the ground perhaps might have made some mistakes or oversight.
It's more than that. At the appropriate time, I'll show you that my phone is in the car. I can go with you. The handwriting. Go back to what the Electoral Commission posted. You know, they posted certain things. Look at the handwriting. Look at the handwriting. The pressure of the pen. The pressure of the ink. Later on, I'll come and show you the original pink sheets. And you yourself if you are called Kwame, I can write Kwame, and I can write Seth, and I can write Joseph. The nature of the way I write my J, my O, my S will tell you that it's the same person writing, but he's only writing a different name. So I'll take time and illustrate for you to see that the EC practice deception. Because you see, when you say we are declaring the results at the constituency level, everybody at the constituency sees the results. But when you say you are summarizing the whole constituency results, the details of what you are doing is lost on the people. It's lost on the people.
We definitely will be hearing more from the National Democratic Congress. We've got wind that they're likely to hold a press conference later today, and your election headquarters will bring you details and updates from that. Let's stay a while on the elections, because results from the Techiman South constituency are yet to be declared following confusion that erupted between the two main political party representatives there. In the early hours of Tuesday, the NDC in Techiman South had tried to prevent the EC officials from presenting or taking ballot boxes to the collation center. They had alleged the incumbent government tried to rig the election by mixing ballot boxes with fake ones. The confusion is said to have erupted when supporters of the NDC prevented the presiding officer from declaring the MPP parliamentary candidate as winner. JoyNews correspondent Anas Abed is still in the constituency and reports people are going about their daily activities as of this morning. Let's touch base with him. Hello, Anas.
Hello, Dennis.
Yes, it appears the whole country is waiting for Techiman South results. But what are you picking from the Electoral Commission on finalizing that matter?
In fact, the Commission had given out what they gathered as in total of the results that of the elections that were held. I remember 2 days ago, before the confusion broke out, the Electoral Commission were able to give out the parliamentary results, and immediately after declaring the winner of the parliamentary elections, that was when the confusion broke out. That led to the firing of gunshots by the military or the security officials on duty, and that led to the death of some 3 persons, we are told, by the NDC. As it stands, yesterday the EC came together with the presidential results as well, and then they brought it out, or they sent it out to us. I have the figures for the presidential, that of the NDC and the MPP.
All right,
I have the figures.
And as let me just say, and these are certified results, because as of this morning, the EC has put out a statement of the election details without Techiman South. So these are certified results?
Yes, it is under contention. It's been disputed.
All right.
It's been disputed.
So let's hold on. Let's hold on till we get certified results. But let me understand how residents are reacting to this. Clearly, it appears the whole nation is waiting to see what will happen in Techiman South, especially for parliamentary.
Yes, that's true. For parliamentary, I must say, I was in the hall when the returning officer openly declared that the NPP candidate had won the parliamentary elections. Then he was unable to declare that of the presidential. So that is what we understand is being disputed. If you come to the Techiman Township...
The returning officer says the NDC parliamentary candidate has won Techiman South?
He said the NPP parliamentary candidate.
All right. I just needed to hear that clearly, because it was a bit muffled at that point. Well, Anas, you spoke to a resident earlier this morning. Let's listen to what that person had to say.
Oh, the mood in town is very, very calm. There's peace around. Everyone is going about his work. We don't see or hear any bad thing going on. So that's how I feel Techiman is. And I pray things go on like this. We all go about our normal jobs, and that's all.
There are reports that people are afraid to go out to do their businesses. Do you see anything like that?
No, for Techiman, so far, I've not heard anything like that.
That was a resident of Techiman. You heard speaking there to my colleague Anas a bit. Earlier you heard Anas a bit giving us details of what's happening in Techiman South. We still don't know for a fact, having received certified results. And when we do so, we'll let you know what's happening in that particular constituency. But you're watching News Desk with me, Bernice Abubedu Lansa. And this is still your election headquarters. We'll be back with more. Do stay.
Research arm of ratings agency Fitch says investor sentiment was soar following the narrow victory of the incumbent MPP. The Electoral Commission Wednesday declared Nana Akufo-Addo winner of the December 7 presidential race. Fitch points out energy and transport will be key sectors for private investment opportunities. Joy Business editor Charles Nixon Yabua joins me from the newsroom with more on this. Charles, what is the basis for this optimism by Fitch?
Darrell, clearly Fitch, prior to the elections, projected that the president, Nana Akufo-Addo, was going to win the elections. And largely it was based on the performance of the Ghanaian economy, despite the fact that there were troubles with the fiscal economy, i.e. a rising debt as well as a budget deficit. But Fitch clearly pointed out that the considerable public-private partnership of the government, not only this particular government, but from the Mills Mahama to Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, as well as project pipeline, underscores private infrastructure investment opportunities in this country. And if you look at the figures starting from President Kufuor's era through President Mills Mahama and to Akufo-Addo, the nation has spent close to $8 billion on infrastructural projects on the energy, in the energy sector, let me be specific, as well as the transport sector. As we speak, there are projects ongoing in the railway as well as the port sector, and this will considerably open the nation's economy to the larger investing public. And let us not also forget that we also have the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement taking off from next year, and that will see Ghana housing the whole of the continent. There are opportunities in this country. So clearly, this is what Fitch believes, but it wants to see a legal backing of the PPP as quickly as possible to provide investors confidence as far as legal issues and policy issues are concerned. So this basically, Darrell, is what Fitch based its argument on, and clearly we can see that the economy of Ghana, or the nation Ghana, has come far as investing in the country, investment in the country is concerned. Public sector and the private sector are doing quite well in terms of collaboration to grow the investment opportunities in this country. The most important aspect is for us to see a legal backing in order to reduce the legal and policy risk as far as investing in the country is concerned.
Just before I let you go, you talk about investor confidence, and we know that will be boosted by a sound economy. President Akufo-Addo indicated in his victory speech that the economy will be top priority. So what are the current challenges he has to deal with?
Well, it has to do with the fiscal side, specifically the rising debt as well as the fiscal deficit. Hopefully next year, the forecast from the IMF, the World Bank, and other international research institutions indicates that the nation might likely grow by almost 5%, and that comes as a good omen to the nation in the sense that we will be able to raise enough revenue to take care of the budget. I mean, financing the budget from the capital expenditure perspective as well as wages and salary perspective. It will give us some level of confidence in terms of going forward, because when your economy grows, you are able to create opportunities for many people. Businesses tend to grow and also expand opportunities, as well as create jobs from the many Ghanaians who are looking for opportunities to work.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Charles Nexin-Yabua, and that'll be your business updates.
When you see that, you know it's time for sports. Guess who is here? George Addo Jr. We are back to default settings.
We're back to sports.
Yeah, back to default settings, because during the elections here, you and Gary were bringing us all the trends on social media. But let's go back to business as usual for us, sports, you and I. And the Champions League.
Yeah, it's good to know that your Real Madrid managed to retain their seat in the Champions League.
I just like the way you say your Real Madrid.
Yeah, your Real Madrid managed to retain the seat in the Champions League. So yeah, they are into the knockout stage of the competition after an important win against Borussia Mönchengladbach, who themselves had some troubles. But again, we know that teams like Manchester United lost their seat in the Champions League. They're now going to be playing the Europa League, like Ajax, you know.
Too bad for Ole.
Too bad for Ole. But the good thing is that, you know, Real Madrid proving once again that they will still find a way after getting that important win. And then we're looking forward to the draw on Monday.
But I told you that we're going to find a way. We are the champions. You know, we always know how to do it.
In fact, my problem this morning is with Antonio Conte, the coach of Inter Milan. I don't know why he's very good at winning domestic titles, yet always messes up in Europe. I put that question up on my Facebook page. I've had some interesting comments already, but I'm just wondering. Look, he wins the title with Chelsea. He wins the Premier League title with Chelsea, wins the Scudetto with Juventus. He looks like he can do it with Inter Milan. Then we ask the question, why can't you win in Europe? Anytime he goes to Europe, he gets knocked out. And in a very bad fashion, like he did with Inter Milan, all they needed to do was just beat Shakhtar Donetsk.
I'm going to hazard an answer.
Yeah.
And my answer will be that, you know, the leagues play differently.
Yeah, but he's too experienced for that.
No, yeah, leagues play differently. So maybe when he enters the English league, he understands the terrain there. When he enters Italy, he understands. But when he has to play, when he's in Italy and he has to play England, like English Premier League, or go to France, so you get what I mean?
You try to come up with something.
I mean, that's
I'm just wondering. But
that's my layman's thinking.
He's a top coach. Like, you know, he's a top coach, and there's so much expected from him. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will look forward to that draw on Monday, and then we can get it all going. In the meantime, we know Accra Hasbrook and Kumasi Asante. Don't think we have forgotten. You haven't won in the Ghana Premier League yet. Kotoko up against Legon Cities on Friday.
Mischief there. Well, that's how we end this edition of JoyNews Desk. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Bernice Abubedulan, so we really appreciate your company. Do stay with us here on JoyNews. We are home of independent, fearless, and credible